this is Bobby Baggio, and I'm here to talk with you about the third in the series of respond-abilities, which is your ability to respond and not react in a work from home environment. The third one is be authentically productive. It's an environment that you can be very busy in and still not be productive. The online environment is one that can keep you occupied, keep you distracted, but you're really not getting any work done. So let's explore how you can be authentically productive when working from home. Let's take a look at respondability number 3, which is the ability to be authentically productive. Not just busy, but actually productive when you work from home. This environment provides personal privacy, which means a lot of time you're alone with you, but it demands collaboration across boundaries, whether that's with your customers or with your colleagues or your team members. You need to learn to collaborate in this environment. You also need to recognize the importance of your own priorities. Time in this environment doesn't stop, and because it's a global environment and runs 24/7, 365, you need to be aware of what time it is when you're communicating with other people on the same project or on the same team or even in a different company. But being aware of the different times and the different time zones helps you to be able to collaborate. The virtual office is just different. The face-to-face office was grounded. It had a beginning and it had an end to the day. This is very, very different. It allows us to communicate anywhere on the globe, but it also challenges us to be aware of not only our surroundings, but the surroundings of those we're communicating with. You also have a right to a private life, so you need to be able to find an off button. And don't think that the virtual world or the home workplace is going to find that off button for you. You need to be able to say, it's 5 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock, I'm off for the day. Now I'm going to do things that I want to do. I'm going to relax. I'm going to play. I'm going to play some tennis. I'm going to play some golf. I'm going to go for a walk. Whatever it is, you have the right to enjoy yourself, and you have a right to time that you're not working. You have a right to relax. You have a right not to have that on button on. One of the main complaints of people who work in this environment is, I feel burnt out. I'm working longer hours in this environment than I worked in a face-to-face environment. I don't ever feel like I can shut off the device. I can't answer that email. I don't have to respond to that text. I don't feel that way. I feel like I'm expected to always be on. Also realize that there's different kinds of work. Process work is the kind of work that's repetitive. You do it over and over and over, and it never really begins and ends. It just is. Project work is work that has a beginning, has a time where you're actually doing things towards a completion. Project work has an end to it. So if you're doing process work, you need to determine when the end is. It's not going to end by itself. And there's lots of time vampires. What are time vampires? Time vampires in this environment are things both internally and externally that steal your time. And time is a very precious resource. I would say the number one time vampire in this environment are your own excuses. Your excuses and maybe excuses from other people, colleagues, team members. But excuses will steal time. why do today what we can put off until tomorrow? And this environment allows you to create excuses that you would not normally create. Anybody who works in the virtual environment or teaches in the virtual environment will tell you that they've heard every excuse in the book, in terms of people not getting things done and then trying to give themselves really a reason to get off the hook for it. Procrastination is another one. If you struggle with procrastination in regular life, in a normal face-to-face kind of environment, you're probably going to have some challenges in this environment, because the ability to kid yourself into justifying reasons that you can't get this done right now, or you won't start it right now, or you don't need to work on it right now, abound, because you're talking a lot of the time with you. So that ability to enact those priorities, to set them and then enact them, that ability to act with autonomy, will help you cope with frustration and cope with procrastination. And then there's the other side of the spectrum here. Not making excuses or procrastinating as much as having so much on your do list that you're never done with your do list. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. You have a 7-page or a 10-page do list where it just goes on and on and on. So you never feel like, I'm done. I've accomplished what I want to accomplish. And then there's the need to be right. A lot of times in this environment, you're on your own. So you're going to have to do the best you can with what you have. And, that's all you can do. There are possibilities and there are limitations. And you need to understand that this environment gives you both. It gives you a lot of possibilities for freedom. It gives you a lot of possibilities for a more balanced and connected life than a face-to-face environment. But it also has the limitations that will allow you to trip yourself up. Some things that will help with being authentically productive are the ability to be creatively productive, the ability to foster your own curiosity and ask those important questions. Why am I doing what I'm doing? And be inquisitive. And I'd like to ask you what ways you're creative. How do you creatively get things done? And ways that you allow yourself the freedom to create. It's very difficult to be creative when you're afraid to be wrong. Here's the book, The Pajama Effect. You'll find wonderful exercises and case studies to help you master all of the respond-abilities. And with that note, I want to thank you, and I'll see you soon.